tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
This record drop, you was staying right below me, nigga. We must have played it 100 times, you was going to bed. Why would I put on a vest? I expect you to aim for the head.
Sweet 16. New track by Drake.
That's an inside joke.
Oh, man.
Yes,
Super inside.
It's summer 16, not sweet 16.
Yeah. What's up, everybody? You know what time it is. It's time for the one and only The Rap Game After Show here at AfterBuzz TV.
Yeah.
I am your host, Lem Gonsalves. So excited to be here. As always, you can find me in the social media world at The Poet Saint. Of course, next to me, he's normally on the other side, but we're switching it up tonight. I got my boy Josh Johnson. What's up, baby?
I'm just moving up the host panel closer to the #1 spot. Close to that #1 spot, like your boy Niqo. You know, it's your boy Joshua Johnson. You can find me on social media, Twitter and Instagram at JJ the Talented. Be sure to follow me and find me, and let's keep the conversation going. Like my boy always says, but I'll pass it on to the left.
Jimmy Vibert, what's up?
And speaking of the kid, hey, it's your boy Jimmy V. I'm on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook at Be Your Own Dad. Make sure you hit me up, continue the conversation. But we got a special guest. You see the man to my right, the contestant, a possible winner of the rap game. Introduce yourself, brother.
Oh yeah, you already know, man. The one and only Lil Niqo.
In the building. I mean, the swag meter is like up here right now.
See,
jumped off
I
the
came here in
whole
sweats,
meter.
and I was like, man,
You see what I'm saying?
Right,
No,
right.
and I told him, first thing I said, true story, I was like, man, where's the big chain? And he's like, oh, man, you know, sometimes you got to kind of keep it down a little bit. You got to tone it down. I'm like, is this boy 28? What's going on here? The wisdom. Yo. So, I mean, we're really excited, man. First in-studio guest of the entire season. You know, we appreciate you coming, making that drive. Shout out to Nikki's in the house. She's off camera, but she's in the house with the whole fam. They're chilling on the couch. Yeah, you know, big bro. Everybody's in the house. It's a family affair. But like I said, we're excited to have you here. You know, we've been talking about you on the show. Of course, you're one of 5 contestants vying for this spot. And I'm just excited to hear your side of the story. You know, you can set them scenes straight. What I want to do first off is give me an introduction, how the rap game, like you got on the show, you were the only one, correct me if I'm wrong, that had a deal prior to coming onto the show. You came in, this is your second opportunity to get a deal. When you first came into the situation with Jermaine Dupri, the rest of the cast, what was the feeling like?
It was great, you know, for me to have already come in the house and accomplish certain things, have certain accolades under my belt, but to work with someone, you know, with the magnitude of a Jermaine Dupri and somebody with such a successful body of work over the years, especially younger artists. So I was excited, man. I was a little bit nervous, and I know he's gonna be hard on me. I see his work ethic, but I also know how hard I can push myself to become better. So I was definitely excited, man. It's a blessing to be here.
Now, did you think, because, you know, going back to the previous record deal, did you think that you had an upper hand on the other contestants, you know, because they're coming in kind of more fresh face? You're one of the older kids, you know, in the house. Did you think that gave you an advantage?
It was definitely a lot that I learned, you know, with the last label, and just kind of being around the industry since I was younger. My manager being an industry vet, you know, VP of marketing, just things I kind of picked up and saw already. So, in a sense, but I just kind of knew from day one, like, I got to come in here, I got to do my job. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
And doing your job, this particular episode, you were #1 for the first time. Shout out for that.
Yeah.
How did that feel, man?
It felt great, and it's crazy because the night before, I remember I was just really, you know, thinking to myself, like, man, I know what I can do. There's some things where I just didn't do, like I said, simple things. You know what I mean? And when it's simple things, like even if you forget a pair of shoes or something, and you go into the gym and you still got on some Timbs, and you know you should be having your Nikes, you finna go hoop with your boy. It's like, dang, I live so. You know what I'm saying? It's simple things that frustrate you. So I remember vividly going downstairs. I was riding a hoverboard. I had my headphones on. And I was playing "Dreams and Nightmares" by Meek Mill. And ever since that, I was good. I was good.
Okay. Well, speaking of forgetting, in the episode, we saw that in your performance for JD, before the performance at Redan, you forgot your lyrics. Now, run us through, how did that happen? You had, I mean, you didn't spend enough time with them, or were you caught up in the moment and kind of just forgot all of a sudden?
Well, you know, it's a lot of editing and things that go into the show. We had 12 hours to write a new song, brand new song, come up with a concept, you know, somewhat add some choreography. Even though we weren't dancing like that, still being able to rock the crowd from one side of the gym to the other because it was a collaboration. So I was practicing my lyrics. I literally walked out the room for about 5 minutes, wrote a verse, 16-bar verse, came back, was practicing all night, woke up, was practicing it while I was brushing my teeth in the shower, memorized it, then went and just kind of forgot, man, but never again. And I've never really forgotten my words like that, so I don't know if it was me being nervous. I don't know if the nerves got to me. I don't know what it was, but never again. Believe that.
Okay, for sure, because mom wasn't having it.
Yeah. Because I know I'm too good for that, so I know my manager definitely knows that I'm too good for that. You know what I mean? So I can't settle for that no more.
I think based on what you're saying, and we were talking about this prior to the show, we know that editing, we was even super producers on the show at Mama Peach via Skype last week, and we were talking about editing and how that sometimes doesn't work to your favor. You know, it is a show at the end of the day. You know, they want to build drama, they want to build suspense on certain things. Certain things are cut out, you know, things of that nature, or they don't happen in the order that they did, you know, to help beef up the show. So I appreciate you clearing that up. And I think based on that, I think a lot of veterans would have problems doing that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm an MC, and I would have, no, I'm joking. I'm super joking. But no, I mean, I think real MC, you know, like veteran MCs would have trouble doing that too.
I think that was just it, just me. The simple things and me already knowing kind of how the editing is going to work, I could have had less fuel to give them had I, you know, did what I had to do. So I think that's what really was frustrating me, and I was so disappointed in myself for not taking care of business like I wanted to. But you know, we moved on. We got the #1 spot. I'm holding it right now.
For sure. So let's break down the episode. We started talking about it, but this episode was all about the collaboration. So you had JD and B Cox who were talking about collaboration and how this is what we want to put you guys in the teams. So you had 2 teams. First team was Super Peach, Poopy, and Mulatto. And then the second team was yourself and Lyric. So when you saw that Lyric was your partner, how did you feel about that? Was there any feelings about that? Do you think that I'd rather be with somebody else? Or were you cool with that?
Not at all. Lyric is like, that's like my little sister. You know what I mean? I was actually excited because I already know how people kind of perceive things, so they may think, okay, we got one extra person, we got an upper hand, or we got an advantage. Not at all. The energy that she brings to the table, and I know she can really come out of her box, and her being where she's from and me being where I'm from, it was kind of like, okay, we kind of, you know, the more laid back of the house, so we got to bring something that is different, you know, because we both bring something unique but different to the table, so we got to, you know, come together and bump heads or whatever, and just bring our similarities and differences together, and let's do it. And so you know, we made it happen.
You made it happen.
That was my worry when you guys were announced that you would be working together. That because you guys have kind of the laid back attitude in a way.
We definitely had to, you know, distinguish ourselves and stand out.
And you guys did pull through. I was hoping you guys could do that, because I'm glad you guys recognize that, okay, we are kind of laid back, we have to bump this up because they're expecting laid back, but we can't give them that.
And that's exactly what we were thinking about, not overthinking, but just really like, man, we can't let anybody, we can't give them anything to say, you know what I'm saying? We go out here, we do our thing, I do my part and remember my lyrics, we gonna kill it regardless, you know what I mean? And so that's what we did. We shut it down.
Yeah.
I think they had a dope song, but our song was dope.
I did like your song though.
Yeah. We had people from Atlanta throwing up H-Town in the West Coast. So when you have that type of control and that impact on people, it's a wrap. Yeah. It's over with.
For sure.
Okay, just because I'm very curious, if you could have chosen your partner at that point, who would you have chosen?
Myself. Nah, I'm playing. I probably would have still chosen Lyric just because, you know, with me and Mulatto being the two strongest writers in the house, it would have
might have been a clash a little bit because of that.
But and not to discredit Lyric at all.
Sure. No, I get what you're saying.
But I guess because I'm maybe more laid back and a little more focused sometimes, that I kind of stay to myself, that I can almost relate to her a little bit more. And
so you felt like you complemented each other pretty well.
Yeah. Okay. And I think as long as we kind of, you know, we really mesh, you know, putting each other's brains for different ideas and concept, I really like where, you know, her head is at as far as that goes. So I probably would have still picked her.
Speaking of Lyric, we did see this particular episode. Her dad comes in, Mitchell.
Yeah.
And we see him when you guys are, you know, collaborating, and you have your mom, your manager there, and you have Mitchell there, and it seemed like you guys kind of all together got together pretty well.
Yeah.
Did he bring? Because it seemed like in this particular episode, she got kind of more focused, kind of got an edge to her when he came on board. Was that in real life? Did that appear that way as well?
Yeah, definitely. I think that their connection is just is really dope. You know, her mom is forever gonna be her mom, but
sure,
I guess it's something. I don't know if it's just music wise or what, but I can just kind of see the connect. It was just different,
right?
You know, with her dad being there. So it was definitely a difference. It was significant enough. Of course, if you're asking me that, then I mean it shows to other people. So I think she definitely was, you know. She was working a little harder.
Well, it sounded like, I mean, on her account, when she was talking about it, it sounded like because her dad was there, she was sad her mom was leaving because that's, you know, the maternal nurturing figure.
Right.
But her dad is the one that is the music person. He's the one that pushed her in that element. Exactly. And I feel like she got a boost of confidence or some mojo or something when he came, and then she kind of, that helped her to get out of her shell a little bit. Right. I mean, that's what I perceived on television.
Yeah, because I believe her dad is her manager. So, for them to be working, you know, together so long, it's like you said, it's different. You know what I mean? My dad doesn't really know anything about the industry, so it would be different opposed to having my manager, you know what I'm saying, with me. So, I definitely think that clearly had something to do with it.
But how did the vibe change at all when he came in, as far as when you guys were working at you and Lyric and your managers were there? How did his vibe affect you? Did it have any effect on you?
Nah, it didn't have any effect on me. You know, as long as I did my part, I performed like I was supposed to, we were good. You know, because I know Lyric was going to bring it to the table as well. Right. And so it was either sink or swim, and we came out on top. We the Titanic that didn't sink. You did.
There was a moment during the rehearsal when it was the four of you and Lyric and your manager there, and I guess you were having trouble with the lyrics, and you had to leave the room, but it seemed like when you were leaving the room you had made reference to Lyric's dad. Maybe it said something like, you need me to, what do you say, you need me to write for you or something like that?
And, something like that. And then like, we say, I think he said take the notebook, which I was like, man, I don't even need the notebook, because I really didn't. I was just overthinking it. You know what I mean?
Just in your head too much.
Right. So it's like, man, he already talking about sending somebody home. I don't know how I memorized it before I left the house, and now my mind is just drawing a blank. So let me just relax a little bit. You know what I mean?
That's pressure, man. So, I mean, I can't imagine as an adult, as a grown man, you know, knowing that, okay, I could possibly go home if I don't do well.
Right.
You know, and here you are, somebody that, you know, according to his stats, you know, the sheet, you've been in the middle, you know, kind of the whole time. So it's like, I can understand why anyone would feel pressure, like, I got to make sure I do a good job, because I don't. And I want to get the #1 spot.
Exactly.
Bottom line. So, I mean, I think anybody, you know what I'm saying, would have that kind of situation jumping off.
Right.
We talked about performing. You guys found out that you're performing in front of 900 kids at this high school in Atlanta. And you meet Silento there. Which was, of course, it's got one of the hottest songs, you know, out there. How was that, meeting him?
It was dope, you know what I mean, for someone like him. And it was actually, what really stuck out to me is that he still goes to public school. He's got the #1 song in, I think, 5 or 6 different countries.
Wow.
And he still,
That's
you know,
real.
attends Americans, public school.
Public
so,
school.
For him to still be on top of that and be on the road so much and be excelling, that really stuck out to me, you know. And he's dope. Shout out Silento.
Yeah, Silento.
Look,
I take it.
go ahead.
You're still in school now too?
Yeah, I'm actually in homeschool, but I am still in school. Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
Now, during the last episode, or the one before, when you guys had the focus group. Now, the girls responded to you well. Like, you got the female attention. Like, oh, Niqo, you know, they're really feeling you.
Right.
Now, did Silento say anything about, you know, how to handle that? Because, I mean, he got the #1 song, like I said, in 4 or 5 countries, and he's still going to school. So, you know, some of those 11th, 12th graders are, you know, they're like, hey, Silento.
Right.
You know, the other girls are coming out the
DMs
woodwork.
must be
I know
popping over
you got
there.
that demographic. I mean,
Right.
did he kind of tell you, like, hey, you know, this is how you handle that? Because
Yeah,
you know,
he
you're gonna have
definitely
girls.
gave me some advice, man. Just to always keep it 100 with him, you know, and not really have it be your main focus right now. Just focus on school and music.
Right,
And
yeah.
so that for him to be saying that to me, it was like, all right, that's what's like. I'm
good
gonna really
advice.
take it into consideration, even though
Sure.
I you know kind of listen to it. My parents have to tell me conveniently.
Don't let these girls
But-
knock you off your hustle.
They're starting
I wish
now.
you guys
Okay.
could see
They're
Nikki's
starting
face
now.
over here.
Don't let them do it.
Oh man,
They will always be there.
Yeah.
Man. You do
Yeah,
your thing. I'm glad he gave
That's
that advice.
right.
That sounds like
Yeah,
good
yeah.
advice.
Yeah, no, that's really good, and I think it was great to I'm sure to see him because he is in your same age bracket. Like you said, he is still going to school, so he's basically the same type of artist that you guys are working on being.
Right.
So I'm sure that was a breath of fresh air to see that and kind of and be able to talk to him on that level.
Of course, yeah.
We talked about the performance already, but you guys did your thing. I mean, I was super
Thank you.
happy,
Yeah.
the both of you, because just not on talent, but just on numbers. They had you on numbers. It was 3 against 2 in that regard.
Right.
And so you guys came out, and I feel like you guys basically just did what you had to do, and I was so glad to see you. Of course, not forget your lyrics.
Yeah.
you was
Thank
you was
you.
flowing. Of
yeah.
course, Lyric killed it, and it was good to see her come out of her shell. I'd never seen her from what they showed us in editing. I'd never seen her that passionate yet to that point. The way she was with the kids and how she was going around and just flowing, and it was dope. And I don't, I'm sure live it was crazy.
The crowd was hype. They were
Because it
hype.
seemed like they were just super hype,
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
were excited. Did they know? I mean, obviously this is a new song for everybody, but
Yeah.
did they kind of have an idea who you guys were before you guys got there, or they just was like, you go out to hear some rappers and they're young and they're fresh and they're trying to make it? Because I know you guys have a lot of you came in with a big, social media following
Right.
with YouTube and Instagram and things of that nature.
Yeah, I mean, the majority didn't necessarily know. It was a few people that have seen our faces a few times.
Sure.
But for us to have the impact on the whole 900 opposed to maybe a couple, just made it even sweeter. You know what I
Right,
mean?
yeah.
For them to see our face and see what we about and what we bring to the table. So it was. A couple people, not necessarily,
Sure.
but I was still glad that I was able to, perform and do my thing and work like Tom Brady under pressure. You know?
Okay, all right.
Was there a transition right before you got in front of the crowd? Because before it's told you weren't a dancer, but
Right.
as soon as you got in front, you're starting to whip, nay. So,
Yeah.
did you get a alter ego change or something?
Spirit came over him.
Man, I don't even know. I was just really like determined and really just remembering where I came from and how hard I had to work and the things that not only me but the people around me had to sacrifice to get to this point. So
Okay.
like I said, man, the night before playing that Meek Mill Dreams and Nightmares, and I was like, oh yeah, it's over with.
going
I got
down.
this now. Yeah,
It's my
going
time.
down.
And so it was just it was a couple times where, like JD said, Niqo, you really got this if you stop playing.
Right.
And so I just had to stop playing, man.
right.
I had to stop playing and turn it on. It's over with.
Word.
And at the
Yeah.
same time, it's not like you haven't performed before.
Right,
I mean,
exactly.
You perform. I'm sure you still doing your thing. You perform
Yeah.
in the various shows and everything. So it wasn't like it was new to you.
Right.
You know, you
it's
just had to
definitely
kind of
familiar environment. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a familiar environment for you. So you just had to do what you do.
Yeah, and I actually execute well, man. You know.
You did good, yeah.
Yeah, appreciate it. You know, following directions is not necessarily my strong suit. It might be like
you're working on it.
50% overall, but I'm definitely working on it because, like I said, man, it was some things that kind of hurt me, but you know, I got to be on top of things like that. So I learned my lesson. Yeah.
I want to kind of get into the managers themselves because we see, especially in this episode, they highlighted a lot of kind of the drama that was happening between some of the managers and kind of them feuding.
They all suck.
Yeah, he said they all suck.
Nah, I'm playing. They gonna kill me, man. Shout out to the managers.
You sure you want to
shots fired over
I was
here.
like, what?
Nah,
But it did seem that there was a lot, and my opinion, and you can help me with this since you're here and you were there. You know, most of these managers, either the parents or they're somehow related. Like with Poopy, that's his godfather. You know, things of that nature. Your manager's your mom. Situation, and I know that not only you're going to be passionate for your artist, but this is also your family.
Right.
And you see them kind of getting into it. Even more so than you guys, because the way it appeared to me is the managers were kind of going. There was no drama really much between you two, you guys as the artists, but the managers were kind of like having the beef. Like you see Precious Peach and Shane in this particular episode kind of going to it hard. What was that like in the house? Because I mean, you're all living in the same house, right?
Yeah.
This whole entire time.
I feel like it's gonna be times where it's like almost inevitable for you to not let it affect you, but you just got to do your thing, man, because that's just going to add more pressure, more stress.
Right.
And you can't let the stress become so unbearable to where you can't perform.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you still got to go out there and do your thing. And, for us to be living under one roof for 8 weeks, it's definitely easier said than done, but you got to, you just got to kind of push it to the side, not let it really affect you in your performance.
Word. I mean, that's, I think, how it should be. But, of course, not everybody can fall under that. I think you got to be strong-willed. I think it's also upbringing and whatnot.
Yeah.
With you particularly, it seemed like, you did have that laid-back vibe. I don't remember seeing you get into it with anybody.
Right, yeah.
I mean,
never.
Is that true?
Nah, I ain't gonna. Man, I'm just a cool dude. Nobody mess with me. I'm good. I'm just here to do what I got to do.
Right.
And that's it. And that's winning that contract. You know.
Right.
That's that West Coast.
Hey,
that's
what
how
it
we
is.
do. We just lay back.
San Diego. No, that is the West Coast vibe.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm gonna get this paper and we keep it pushing.
Yeah.
On to the next.
There it is.
Yeah.
That is
precisely.
So let's get into this this sheet here, this ranking. Before, like I said, there was some drama with some of the managers, which we talked about in this particular episode. It was Precious Peach and Shane getting to it in a lot of different situations. When it came down to it, at this point, it seemed like you guys still thought somebody may be going home. When he put up the ranking, it was crazy because it was 4 numbers. Normally it's 5. So I'm sure nerves was kind of bubbling over. You know. And of course you did well, so I don't know if you were worried, but I know I would be worried regardless because you never know what they're looking for. This has been the the 5th week now, so there's been a lot going on. So 4 comes up, 4 is the last stage, and you have Super Peach. She comes up, and he was basically saying that the reason why she was in 4th place is because she missed some lyrics, and this is the first time that I can remember seeing that he included some of the bickering that was going on between the managers. As part of affecting the ranking. And he specifically said with Super Peach is the fighting that happened with Shane, which put her in the bottom spot. Number 3 was shared by Poopy and Lyric, and he did mention about Lyric interacting with the crowd, and that kind of helped her, keep her out of the bottom, break out of her shell. And then we had 2, we had Mulatto, and again, that was as a result of the drama that was happening with Shane. But she did say, that was the leader of kind of their group. And then the number 1 spot, of course, as we said, was yourself. And he said because you remembered your lyrics, and he said that you danced with the crowd. Dancing the crowd. We talked, you did the whip and the nay-nay and all that kind of stuff because the spirit overtook you, the spirit of hip-hop. So,
of course,
so you get the number 1 spot. I want to go back to when Super Beach got it, and I remember he said, she had this nonchalant nonchalant look on her face, and he's like, "Aren't you excited?" She's like, "Oh, well, I'm number one, you know."
Yeah,
I expect that. Yeah. You seem really happy. You know, you were, and I don't know if it was elation type situation or if it was like, you know, oh, I got this. You know, I finally feel like I deserve it. What was the feeling when you saw your spot or your name at number one?
I'm gonna keep it at number one. You know what I mean? There's been a lot of artists that have gone to number one and dropped back to number 5.
Right.
So my goal is to work as if I'm at the bottom. You know what I mean? To keep that number one spot. And I think a lot of people do get a little comfortable.
Sure.
Can't get comfortable around me.
Right.
And that's what you got to learn. You either gonna learn it the easy way or the hard way.
Yeah.
And the easy way is the hard way. I'm going to snatch that number one spot.
Snatch it.
It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm relentless. I'm here to take heads off lyrically. So, yeah, I just got to perform and do my job, man, and keep the number one spot. That's my objective.
So that was the thinking when you saw it. You were like, I just got to maintain.
Yeah.
Okay.
I worked hard to get here. Let's get it. Let's keep it.
Okay.
You said keep the number one spot. Now, is that kind of an allusion to what we can see?
A little foreshadowing.
You know, foreshadowing the next couple of weeks, maybe? Are we going to see?
I'm just trying to speak it into existence. You know what I'm saying?
You got to keep watching. You got to keep watching.
Keep watching Lifetime, Friday nights, 10, 9 Central. Shameless plug. You already know.
That's dope. So I kind of want to get into you as an artist. Niqo, and of course you first got your deal, I think you said 10 or 11?
10, yeah.
Did you always want to do this? Is this something you always want? I mean, obviously you're 10. Always. And it's crazy because literally the night before, I remember dreaming being in Def Jam's office. And I remember meeting L.A. Reid and just waking up and getting ready to go. I was like, I'm going to sign at Def Jam. I'm going to sign at Def Jam. It's not going to be anywhere else. I'm walking to Def Jam. I'm going to sign the same day. And I walked in there and I signed the same day in Jay-Z's office. Went to Times Square, Foot Locker. You know, they got a crazy Foot Locker in Times Square. So, and Def Jam is always a label I've always wanted to go to. A lot of my favorite artists started there, you know, from LL to Jay-Z. And so it's a dope place, man. So that was the first label you were with?
Yeah,
okay.
The first one. Yeah.
And you're 10 years old, and then something happens, you're not with them anymore. Then you have this opportunity. You're still rapping, of course, doing your thing this whole time, and then you're approached about this show. How does that come about?
You know, when they reached out to me about this show, it was a good feeling. You know, as an artist, it's like, dang, a network like that is reaching out to you. So, it was just like, man, that's what's up. You know, they're clearly familiar with you know, my work on YouTube, social media. They see the following I'm already bringing to the table. So, for them to present me with that opportunity is like, okay, this is dope. Let's make it happen.
So they had their eyes on you, and they picked you like, okay, we want to see if Niqo can be on the show.
It wasn't anything I necessarily auditioned for, but it's something that, you know, they contacted management via email, I believe, and you know, we figured it out, man. We got to it. The rap game, man. Numbers is crazy. You know, real trendsetters.
Number one show, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh no, it's doing big numbers. It's doing big numbers.
You know, a lot of people, you know, tend to lose interest after the premiere, and we just been gaining numbers. You know what I mean? And I'm excited. I'm blessed to be a part of this situation. Like I said, man. So, for the turnout to be as successful and more successful than I even thought it was prior to filming, it's crazy, man. Crazy.
Now, I know she's here, so I don't know how much you can say, but your mom is obviously your manager. I'm assuming she's been your manager the whole time that you've been an artist. What is that? I mean, I have my mother too. I'm really close to my mom. I don't know how it would be to be a manager because I feel like that's my mom, you know. So there has to be a special connection, I'm assuming, for that to happen. Can you talk a little bit about your mom being your manager and kind of how that's helped you as an artist and what's that like? Because I know that's I hate the term momager. I think that's a whack term. I think it's terrible. But she's your manager, just like you said. But how is that type of relationship with that?
Well, you know, we definitely got to keep it separate. You know what I'm saying? You keep business and you know, her being my mom separate. She's my manager and then my mom. But I know that she has my best interests at heart. She's gonna go through the trenches for me. You know what I'm saying? And she's relentless. I think that's definitely a trait I get from her. So I know that she's always gonna keep it real with me. She always gonna keep it 100. It's probably gonna be some things that I may not want to hear at the moment, but I know it's for the betterment of me. You know what I mean? And to make me a better person, a better artist. So I know she always gonna be there for sure. For sure.
Word.
Are there times when you're having a conversation and you're just like, you know what? I don't want you to be my manager right now. I just want you to be my mom. You ever have that kind of interaction at all?
Nah, not at all. I don't think anybody can do her job the way she does it. Personally, nobody in the house. She knows she know what she's doing, man. And I know that she's, like I said, she gonna go through heck and back for me.
Right.
And so I thank her for being there for me. You know what I mean? And really going to bat for me like that. She's almost like a female Dame Dash, but not a jerk. As far as the work ethic and really going to bat for her artists, I think that's how I can. That's the correlation. So.
Got it.
So those roles never get crossed and mixed up.
Never.
There's the mom, and there's the manager,
right?
And there's no blending.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shout out to Nikki. Yeah. I love it. I wish you guys could see the way. It's dope. So before we wrap up, if you could let us know anything you want to, talk about coming up, that you have coming out, that you want to publicize. I mean, obviously, you got dope fans already. You've built some more fans.
Shout out to the whole Niqo Nation.
Yeah. And I'm sure that you've, built some more fans through the show, obviously. Can you talk about what, any upcoming projects or anything that you want to put out there that you're able to?
I'm still working on a mixtape right now, but every Friday before the show, I will be dropping a freestyle, a remix to the hottest song out on my SoundCloud. So y'all got to make sure y'all stay tuned. My only SoundCloud is LILNIQO. No underscore, no hyphen, none of that. And I haven't really been on SoundCloud, so I noticed a couple people trying to come up on them followers.
All them fake accounts, cut it out.
But we back on it, man. So for the duration of the show, I'm gonna be doing that, and then we got a mixtape following up. So let's see that. Also, go cop that new single, I Know, by yours truly. You know what I'm saying?
I love it.
The swag is on a zillion.
Dude, it's so. I mean, the ceiling, it can't even contain.
It's a good thing.
It can't even contain the swag. The swag meter is through the roof.
There's one thing we didn't talk about, and I know Nikki. She's not on the camera, but but she wanted to clear some things up, and I know based on our last interview, there were some things we wanted to clear up. What happened with the Goodwill? Remember the Goodwill store? Yeah. Remember? Because what happened with the Goodwill store? Because we found out that
that's right.
Someone said a little something.
Someone said that you might have, I don't know, the extra $2.30
or something
was for you. Did I get that right?
That's what I heard.
It was from you, or it was for a shirt for you.
Yeah.
It was from.
Do you know anything about that?
It was from your manager to Mama Peach. And that's why she might
have given it to her, but I don't think that's what she was thinking about at the moment. You know what I'm saying? My mom is just a kind-hearted person. She's going, I got you.
Here,
okay,
not really, you know what I'm saying?
Not thinking like, I'm helping you cheat or I'm helping you get over.
Because Mama Peach was like, ask him when you get there. Ask him what happened, because I guess.
Then when we saw her at the counter, it's like, okay. But boss is moving silent, you dig? So whatever, you know what I'm saying, the shady business always gonna come to the light. You know what I mean? All I gotta say is cheaters never win. Winners never cheat.
Let them know.
You dig what I'm saying? And I'm gonna leave it at that.
Word. Is there anything else we need to clear up?
Anything else we need to clear up?
I don't think so. Matter of fact, when I was at the dance studio, and it kind of looked like I left.
I'm glad you brought that up.
But back to me being relentless, I'm never gonna quit. You know what I'm saying? I'm never gonna give up, especially on my manager, because she was out there working her butt off to you. But what really happened was I was battling the flu.
Okay.
And if you not too familiar with the flu is, was a 9-6 Jordan had his flu game, so it's definitely going way on your endurance.
Right.
And that's all that was happening, but I still came back and did my thug thizzle. That's
so did you, when you say you looked like you left, did you actually leave out the, you did?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
That was
I left, I had to, you know what I'm saying?
Again.
Something to get, and then I went right back at it. Man, I'm relentless. When I say that, I mean it. You know what I'm saying? Never gonna do it.
But we saw a different side of you after that. Based on the information that was revealed about your illness,
right?
You know, and then we saw that, and we're like, oh wow, okay. Then he's battling something, so he's going, like you said, you're relentless. You're going hard, even though you know you have things that you're dealing with. That's
right, and not necessarily didn't have anything to really do with, you know what I'm saying, what was going on. It was
in that
more so
particular
just
moment.
right. It was more so just me battling the flu, man.
Yeah.
You know, still trying to go out there and still perform, because I'm not gonna let no excuse. You know, just it's people that weren't even supposed to walk again playing basketball and excelling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's there is no excuse for me. You know, if you want it, go out and get it. It's simple as that.
That's
what I
how
had
it's
to do.
going down.
Yeah.
They might have just used that time to,
sure.
Show the information, but not necessarily
right.
what would happen at that time.
Exactly.
During the whole dance competition.
We know it's a show,
It's
and
a
that's
show.
how it gets down.
But
I mean, I
keep watching.
Yeah. And I think too, just in that moment, and just overall, I think you said it yourself. Jermaine Dupri saw that, and he did speak on that. But even more so when he said that he was trying to kick that fire under you, he was like, "Yo, you can do this."
Right.
Like he saw it already in you. He saw, from picking you, signing you on the show. He knew you had it. You just had to put it forth in action.
Right.
And,
Execution,
yeah,
man.
there it is.
You know.
Name of the game.
You gonna believe somebody that's showing you that they can do something and actually execute, opposed to somebody just talking.
Right.
And that's what it's all about.
Right.
Time to get out there and work, baby. Let's
Get it.
So
and hold it down for the West too.
What's a few things that
Shout out
we
San
can
Diego, the whole West
expect now?
Coast. As far as the show, or just in general?
As far as I think there's 4 episodes
three
left.
more
There's
episodes left.
left.
Just expect greatness, man.
Yeah.
No one's forgetting. Well, I can't say no. I'm not forgetting my words no more.
Right.
And I'm really just executing like I should be, man. There's no room for error.
Your game face is on right now.
My game face is on.
It's on and popping.
This is Kobe in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Of the
I like
finals.
that. I like
in the
that.
prime, not Kobe now.
Right.
I don't know about Kobe now, but yeah.
Man, I really hate to see Kobe go out. Like
That's hard, right?
He
Oh
don't
man, that's
deserve
like
that, man.
But
me being
being
a Laker fan, we're not accustomed to losing like this.
I know,
So,
it's
rough. Hopefully we'll get some guys in free agency, maybe in the draft. So
we'll be
we
back.
gonna make it happen.
It's gonna happen.
My Lakes are struggling right now, though, man.
It's gonna happen.
We struggling.
Get another season.
Yeah.
All right, man. Nico, I appreciate you being here, man. Thank you so much for coming to the studio.
Appreciate you.
This has been so dope. Yeah, I mean, we certainly enjoy. As you know, we love the show. It's a dope show, and just to see you guys, putting in work at such a young age, and where you are, and even seeing the maturity as you're sitting here.
Thank you.
And knowing what you want to do, and having your family, and everything is a blessing.
Yeah.
So I appreciate it. I know the fans appreciate it. Much success to you. I'm excited to see how the show turns out. We got 3 more episodes to kind of see what happens. But like you said, I'm glad your game face is on.
Thank you.
And that's how it's going down.
Hey, I see big things for him.
Oh,
I
for
see
sure.
big things
Oh,
for
for
him.
sure.
Appreciate it.
I believe it too.
Thank you.
And he's holding down the West Coast. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Come on. Oh, dang, son.
Got to.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's been our show, The Rap Game. I've been your host, Lem Gonsalves. Make sure that you continue to watch, tune in. We got 3 more episodes left. We got more guests coming. It's going down all day, every day. You can find me on social media at The Poet Saint all day, every day. My mixtape is dropping in 2039. It's called Grandpa Freestyle. Y'all ain't ready for it, son. Y'all ain't ready.
I got 5 tracks on there,
That's
too.
right. I'm telling you. Nico about to be on it. Yeah. What's up, JJ? Tell him.
As always, I'm your boy Joshua Johnson. Find me on social media. I am at JJ the Talented. Find me and follow me. Let's keep in touch.
Nico, remind them where you at, man.
Oh, man, you already know. Everything is LILNIQO. With the exception of my Snapchat, it is the real Lil Niqo. And my SoundCloud is Lil Niqo, no space, no hyphen, no nothing. Also, shout out my big homie, my brother, my day one Murdoch HD in the building with me in the studio, live and direct with it, you dig? And it's the camp. What you thought? Let's get it.
There it is.
It's your man Jimmy V on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Be Your Own Dad. Shout out to everybody who made comments on the last week's video. We appreciate the feedback. Continue the conversation. Make sure you holler at us in this week's comments, and catch you next week. And once again, big shout out to Nico for coming through.
Yeah.
Thanks, appreciate it. Thank you.
That's how it gets down. Nico and the clan.
Yeah.
Shout out to Nikki.
Yes,
in the back
making
here,
it happen.
making faces all so long. Shout out. This been the Rap Game. We out.
You already know.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AFTERBUZZTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AFTERBUZZ TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.